What's up, captains? In this podcast episode, I'm going to be reviewing a question that I received yesterday on one of the calls for the members of the Captain's Lifestyle Program. Before we dive into this question, which is so important that I decided to record a whole episode on it, I want to remind you guys that this podcast is brought to you by the Captain's Lifestyle Crew, which is my private online men's community. So while I am no longer taking on any new clients until next year, you still have the option to join this community of high achieving men, which is the Captain's Lifestyle Crew. What you get with that membership is a bunch of stuff. You get weekly coaching and accountability calls. You get monthly high performance masterminds, usually with guest speakers whom I've had on this podcast. You get first access to and discounts on future programs, aka the Captain's Lifestyle Program, which will be happening in January of next year. You'll get a discount on that. You also get discounts on in-person events, which the next one is being planned for September. You also get to network with other like-minded, high-achieving men. So there's a ton of value in the Captain's Lifestyle Crew. And if you want more information, go listen to the last episode of the Captain's Lifestyle Podcast, where I talk all about the crew and the perks of membership. This episode is also brought to you by Lambs, my favorite EMF blocking clothing. So if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I love my blueberries. I've got them right here. I just pop them all day long. My favorite snack. What's cool about blueberries is that they are pound for pound one of the best fruits that you can eat. They're packed with antioxidants. Lambs clothing is basically like wearable antioxidants because it blocks up to 99% of EMFs, which stand for electromagnetic fields that cause oxidative stress in the body. So by blocking or preventing that oxidative stress, you're essentially wearing blueberries. You're wearing antioxidants. Lamb's clothing is health enhancing apparel because of that exact reason. I wear this when I fly because plane travel is one of the worst places that you are exposed to high levels of EMF, with everybody trying to find weak Wi-Fi signal, Bluetooth headphones and all this nonsense, especially in a crowded place like an airplane and the airport. Lamb's clothing has been a game changer. I no longer get the irritability, the inflammation, the brain fog or headaches that I used to when traveling. So to get the hook up on anything from Lambs, head over to getlambs.com, enter code Captain Morgan, or click the link in the description. That will save you 10% off of health enhancing apparel, aka wearable blueberries. Now, let's dive into today's episode. So the question that I want to cover that one of the clients in the program asked was, how do you keep these mindset shifts, language upgrades, and lifestyle habits top of mind? Because this call was right after we had, or the clients had gone through the mindset module of the Captain's Lifestyle Program. And this is all new information, right? So this particular client was wondering how he could keep these things top of mind when it's so difficult to remember a lot of these things, because they're all new habits, like these language upgrades, these new lifestyle habits. It can be difficult to keep them consistently top of mind, right? Especially if you've been conditioned over the past 10, 20, 30 years of your life in your old patterns and your old beliefs and your old thought processes, right? So how we can go about keeping these new lifestyle habits top of mind awareness so that they actually stick. We've got a few things. Number one, being conscious of them, being aware of these mindset shifts and these language upgrades. So you guys are already there. You're conscious of these things. You're aware that this is an issue. 99% of the population out there is unconscious to this. They're still so deep in the matrix that they aren't even aware that their language impacts how they feel, and how they feel impacts how they show up in the world, right? Most people are just clueless to these things, right? So you're there. You've got this awareness. So how do we get that consistent? One of the most important ways that you can do this is to audit your social media accounts. What do I mean by this? I mean, unfollow everybody who is not an inspiration to you. Unfollow everybody who does not add value to your time scrolling social media. Unfollow everybody who is using negative self-talk. Unfollow all the news channels. Because what happens A lot of times people blame social media. They say, oh, social media is making so-and-so depressed. Social media is causing me stress and anxiety. Social media is evil, right? Social media is neither good nor bad. It just is, right? Social media can be a fantastic tool or your worst enemy, depending on how you choose to use it. So, of course, if you follow all of these people who are causing you stress, anxiety, causing you to compare yourself to them, that's obviously not a good thing, right? So unfollow those people and then follow and interact with all of the accounts who are inspiring, who do provide you valuable information. And it's important not just to follow these accounts, because I'm sure you guys follow a lot of these accounts already, but to actually interact with these accounts. So the algorithm knows that you want to see more of this type of information. So like, comment, share, and save the posts. Support these creators who are providing you this inspiration. Saving really helps the algorithm know that you want to see more of these type of posts. Comment how that post helped you. Liking the post is a given, and then share it to your story, because something really cool happens when you teach people these things. When you actually teach somebody what you're learning, and not necessarily by telling them, but by showing them how you're living your life, which we'll get to later on. When you teach somebody these things, two things happen. One, you remember the information significantly more than you would if you just saw the information and kept on going, right? So you see the information, you implement it into your own life, then you share that post to your social media. So then you're essentially teaching your followers what you just learned. So it does that. It helps you remember the information. It also helps them become inspired to change their lifestyle, because they might see the post and they may have a mindset shift. They're like, oh, wow, I never thought of that. That is inspiring. That is good information, right? So share the post, interact with these accounts that you want to see more of, and all of a sudden you will start to see more of these types of posts. For me, for instance, I have spent the last year basically cultivating my social media to where I only see positive, uplifting, and inspirational accounts from people who I look up to, who I aspire to be like. I very rarely see non-inspirational and definitely almost never negative posts on social media. TikTok is a bad one. TikTok, I've been guilty of this. People can get sucked into the TikTok rabbit hole of just scrolling mindlessly. And then all of a sudden they wake up and they're like, holy shit, I just spent the last hour doing nothing, just staring into this black box in my hand. I've been there. I've been guilty of that myself. So believe me, I understand how it feels. What I've done is that I've audited my TikTok. So I only follow inspirational accounts. I only follow accounts that add value to my life, that don't take from my life or make me feel, bad. Not that any account can do that. I unfollow, or I don't follow any accounts that would cause me to make me feel bad about myself. Instead, I only follow inspirational and uplifting accounts. So TikTok, notice that. And instead of showing me videos of, teenage girls shaking their ass, which is what TikTok gets a bad rap for. It's a lot of these oftentimes underage girls in bikinis just shaking their tits and their ass all over. I never get those videos anymore because I don't interact with that style of videos. I only interact with uplifting and motivational videos. And a lot of times now, when I go on TikTok, it's a post saying, hey man, you've lost focus, get back on track. And it's like, oh, you're right. I was coming on here to distract myself from what I need to do. And then the first post that's on my For You page is a motivational post to get me back on track, living my purpose. So once you begin to audit your social media accounts, it is much easier to not be distracted by social media, because these posts will come up and they will snap you back into reality. They will suck you out of the matrix. Some of my favorite posts that I see are posts just like that. They're like, hey man, you lost focus for a second. You were sucked into the matrix. You were caught scrolling. That's all right. We've been there. Time to go back to work. Once you follow those types of accounts, social media becomes a tool that you learn from, that you're inspired by. Same thing applies to in person. So audit your friends and family. Audit the time you spend with these people. If you're hanging around a bunch of people who are so stuck in the victim mentality, they're blaming other people for how they feel. They're blaming external circumstances for how they're living their life. Stop spending time with those people. If you are spending a lot of time with people who are complaining or who are always stressed out or who can't seem to catch a break or are always down on their luck, that's draining. Nobody wants to be around those types of people. It's exhausting, especially if you're on this self-improvement and self-development journey. You want to surround yourself with people who are motivated, who are driven, who are working on themselves, regardless of whatever else is happening around them. You want to spend more time with people who take it upon themselves, who take extreme ownership, that no matter what anybody else says or no matter what else happens, they are still working on themselves. They don't give excuses anymore. They don't blame anybody else. You want to spend time with people who understand that everything in your life is your fault. And you can take that one of two ways. You can either say, oh, no, it's not. It's this person's problem, or it's the government that's doing this to me. And if you choose that route, you're going to spend your life stressed out, anxious, depressed, never achieving what you actually want. Or you could say, I've never thought of it that way. But you're right. Everything in my life is my fault. It's determined by my choices, by my thoughts and my actions. And with that knowledge, I can choose right now to change. If you don't like the lifestyle that you're living right now, it's on you. Only you. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to make the conscious decision to change. All of the power lies in your hands. What happens if you give the power to other people, if you blame this person for how you feel right now, or you blame the government for the reason that you're acting this way right now, you're giving your power to other people and external circumstances. Of course, you're going to feel like you're not in control of your life. You're giving your control to other people. So instead, hang out with people who understand this concept that everything in your life is on you. Everything in your life, good and bad, is on you. So take ownership for that. And if you don't like it, good, you can change it, right? And then also accept the things that you cannot control. So this doesn't mean that everything in your life is automatically going to be perfect. There are going to be seemingly negative situations that are outside of your control. And instead of being depressed or stressed out about those situations, you have to understand that you have to accept what you cannot control. And newsflash, the only things that you can control are your thoughts and your actions, how you present yourself to the world, how you show up. That is the only thing that you can control, is how you think, how you feel, and how you take action. That's it. Everything else is outside of your control. You can't control what this person says. You can't control that, there was a fucking crash on the freeway and you're going to be late to work. You can't control that. All you can control is this present moment right now. What is your next move? What is the best decision that you can make right now? That's all you can control. So hang out with people who understand that. And this may be difficult because your best friends or family might be in this victim mentality mindset, which most people are. Most people are unconscious to the fact that their thoughts and their actions are only controlled by them. So if they are your close friends and family, it can be difficult to not necessarily cut ties with them, but to spend less time with them. And it's absolutely necessary if you want to become this new version of yourself. Because the less reminders that you have of the old version of you, the easier it's going to be to reach the new level of you. If you continue to incorporate the same thought processes, the same habits, hang out with the same people, do the same things over and over again, you're not going to change. You're going to be that same stressed out, overweight, anxious, depressed person because you're doing the same habits, hanging out with the same people that you were when you were this old version of you. So in order to change, in order to become the captain of your own life, you need to reduce that exposure to your old past self. Okay, so audit your social media accounts and audit who you spend your time with. And you don't have to give an explanation to your friends and family. You don't have to explain to them. You can just live your life. You don't need an excuse to live your own life, to do what you want to do. If you want to let them know that you'll be spending less time with them, that's okay too. Do it tactfully. Don't say, hey, I don't like the way you talk and I don't want to hang out with you anymore, right? Do it with compassion and empathy. Say, hey, I really love our time together. And I've noticed that it's been difficult for me. It's been a little bit draining for me because I'm working on becoming a new person. I'm working on upgrading my lifestyle, my habits, whatever it is for you. And I'm trying to come up with a way on the spot to say this properly without hurting somebody's feelings. And that's why I said you don't have to tell them, because you are not responsible for somebody else's feelings. Again, only they can control their feelings. So you don't have to give an explanation. If you'd like to, again, say something along the lines of, I've really enjoyed our time together and I will, we can still talk and all these things, but I'm upgrading myself. And they may view that as an attack on their way of life. They may view that as, oh, he's too good for me now, right? And that's simply because they are not happy with themselves. They're letting their ego come up and they're letting their ego say, oh, this person thinks that he's better than you, right? It's because simply they know that they're not happy with themselves. So if you spend less time with those people, that will make this whole process of keeping these mindset shifts and language upgrades top of mind. So that's an important one. Audit your attention, your social media attention, and the energy and attention that you give to other people. Next up is affirmations. So when adopting a new lifestyle and incorporating new habits and patterns, it's very important. In fact, it's crucial to adopt affirmations. This is why, as part of my Cages morning ritual, the A in Cages stands for affirmations. And in the Captain's Lifestyle program, we come up with your MVVP, your mission, vision, values, and purpose, along with your daily actionables and weekly goals. And as part of the program and the Cages morning ritual, you review those first thing every morning. So instead of waking up and checking your phone and making sure that you have all the same problems, you're still stressed out about all the same things, you see the list of all the things that you have to do that day. Instead of doing that first thing, you wake up and you reaffirm this new version of you that you're working to become. So for now, you can just create 3 to 5 affirmations. I am statements. So depending on your situation, it could be things like, I am in control of my thoughts and actions. I accept what I cannot control. Everything always works out for me. That's one of mine. Because even in seemingly negative situations, I understand that that's part of the journey of success, because success is not a straight line. Success is not linear. Success is bumpy. It's up and down. So even in the lowest points, I have this mindset, this mantra that I repeat to myself, that everything always works out for me. And it does. And that's in large part due to the reticular activating system, which is a part of your brain that is responsible for alertness and attention. So if you hear a twig snap in the woods, all of your attention is diverted to that. You're looking for danger, right? The same thing applies for positive and negative situations in your everyday life. So what most people's reticular activating system is looking for are the negative situations, the stressful situations, everything that's going wrong, right? When we receive a compliment, a lot of times we discard the compliment and then we say, oh yeah, but I did this, this, and this wrong. I've still got to incorporate this, this, and this. I'm not perfect yet, right? That's because your reticular activating system is always looking for the things that are going wrong. This is the cause of a lot of stress and anxiety today. It's because we find more of what we're looking for. So if you're always focused on the things that you haven't done yet, on everything that's going wrong in the world, and if you think everybody is out to get you and that the world is an evil, horrible place, aka if you watch the news, because that's the stories that the news promotes, then of course you're going to live in a stressed out, anxious, upregulated state all the time. And the converse, or the inverse, whatever the right word is also true. If you spend your time focusing on the things that you're doing right, the things that are going well in your life, all the things that you've accomplished, the beauty and all the love that's in the world, and you stop viewing things as a competition and instead collaboration, that's what you're going to find more of. Then all of a sudden, when you start focusing on the positives in every situation and start looking for the good, all of a sudden, these serendipities and coincidences just start to appear, right? There's a reason why people who claim that they have bad luck never win anything, or that nothing ever goes right for them. Of course not, because that's not what they're focused on. They're focused on everything that's going wrong. So if you focus on the things that are going right, and if you have this mindset that everything always works out for me, then it will, because that's what your brain is looking for. You find more of what you're looking for. All right. So that's the reticular activating system and why affirmations are so important. So come up with 3 to 5 affirmations, review them every morning, print them out, put them by your bedside. You put sticky notes on your bathroom mirror, whatever you got to do to keep them top of mind awareness. That's another thing, is in addition to auditing your social media accounts and your, the people you spend time with, put these affirmative statements all around your room. Like on my whiteboard over there, I've got a bunch of them. I'll read you some of them. We've got enjoy the experience, be even more free, full fucking send it. No more plain soft. It's time to full fucking send. If you want to adopt a new lifestyle, if you want to become a new person, do you think you can get there by half-assing it? Do you think you can get there by questioning yourself, by questioning whether or not you're actually capable of achieving it? You can't. You got to full fucking send. You have to fully adopt and embrace and embody this new version of you that you want to become. You have to let go of all of your self-limiting beliefs and your perceived judgments from other people. You have to let that go, because 1, they're in the matrix. They're unhappy. They're unhealthy. Why would you care about their opinion anyways? And 2, they might not even be thinking that at all. That's just something that you're fabricating in your mind based on your own self-limiting beliefs of yourself. So you have to let all that shit go and just be free. Be even more free. Be yourself. Be the captain of your own life. And once you fully embody that, that is when change starts to come much quicker. In fact, the changes and all of the things that you're looking for are attracted to you. Instead of you putting in time and effort and just hustle and grind and grit to get there, it becomes much easier because you attract them to you. All right. So speaking of you attracting things to you, we have to stop waiting to receive the thing before we feel the way that we want to feel. So for example, if you're overweight and you're waiting until you lose weight to feel confident and excited and energized and happy, that's going to be very difficult to achieve. It's going to require a lot more hard work and effort, and it's going to suck a whole lot more. Whereas if you were to embody what it would feel like, if you can imagine what it would feel like to lose 10 pounds, for example, how would that feel? You'd be more confident. You'd be more energized. You'd be happier. Okay, so embody that. Embody that now. Don't wait until it actually happens. Be that now. And then when you're feeling that way and showing up as that person, all of a sudden, it just starts to come easier because you already feel the way that you would imagine you feel. I don't want to go too deep into the science of this. And a lot of it can be viewed as woo-woo. And I was skeptical at first too, until I manifested both a negative situation in my life and a positive situation in my life. So I first manifested a negative situation because after my breakup with my ex, I was depressed. I was stressed out. I couldn't concentrate on my work and I was all woe is me, right? And because of that, because that's the way that I was feeling and showing up in the world, I manifested a negative situation in my life. From that negative situation, turns out it actually wasn't negative because I used it to manifest this positive situation. So from that, I was like, okay, So this manifestation stuff is real. What if I manifested a positive situation? And that's exactly what I started to do. I started to become the type of person who I was wanting to become, who I was waiting until I had this thing to become. I started to be that person. I started to show up differently. I started to be more energized and happy and loving and excited and free. And once I felt that way, and once I showed up to the world that way, I manifested an extremely positive and inspiring situation, which I'm sure I will be talking about more on future podcasts once the situation develops. So yes, it is absolutely real. And if I'm not asking you to, if you're going from couch potato to, and you want to be Mr. Olympia, right? All fucking jacked and low body fat percentage. I'm not asking you to feel as if you were Mr. Olympia, because a lot of people struggle to imagine that, right? They've never even been close to that experience before. So it can be difficult for a lot of people to imagine that. Fine. Imagine yourself if you were 10, 15, 20 pounds lighter. How would you show up then? Again, you'd be more confident, you'd be more assertive, you'd be happier, you'd be excited, right? So feel that way now. Embody that right now. And then the results will come to you. I still recommend, doing a combination of both the work and the time and the effort and the feelings and, attracting it to you. Do a combination of both. You can't just, feel these things and all of a sudden they appear, right? It's not just that simple like that. You have to be working towards it, because again, once you become the type of person who it is that you're looking to become, this type of person does this, this, and this. The type of person who is 10 pounds lighter wakes up in the morning and watches the sunrise. The type of person who is 10 pounds lighter is conscious of their meals. The type of person who is 10 pounds lighter is showing up more confident in conversations. So you do all these lifestyle habits because you are feeling this way, and the combination of those attracts what you're looking for. And again, to do that, you audit your attention. You audit who you're following on social media, who you're hanging out with in person, and audit your room. If your room is a messy disaster, your mind is a messy disaster. So clean up your room. Make it how you want to feel, right? So put things around your room, different motivational phrases, things that, bring light to your day. Change your environment, because with lifestyle change, it's a lifestyle change. You have to completely change your lifestyle if you want to be a completely new person. Okay. Change your social media, change who you spend time with, change your physical environment, and you'll start to feel like the person you want to become. And these mindset shifts just become second nature once you start to do those things consistently. And it is hard. I'm not claiming that any of this is just easy peasy, right? In fact, for me, I think it's gotten even more difficult the further along I've gotten on my personal development journey, because I've upgraded my problems and I place myself in new and challenging and uncomfortable and unfamiliar situations. Yeah, it's hard. Good. It's supposed to be hard. If it was easy, everybody in the world would already be thriving. Then I wouldn't have my purpose to #make thriving standard. I wouldn't need that if it was easy, because everybody would already be thriving. It's hard. It is hard. So if you're looking for some quick fix or, 30-day challenge, or this is why diets don't work, is because people go on this diet for however long, and then they come off of the diet, they lose 10 pounds, whatever, and then they revert back to their old lifestyle habits. And of course, they gain all the weight back because they didn't actually change their lifestyle. They made a temporary change. They committed to this temporary hardship. And then once that temporary hardship is over, they lost the 10 pounds. They're like, oh, cool, this is great. And then they go back to their old lifestyle habits. They gain it all back. Becoming a new person, becoming the captain of your own life, is a complete lifestyle change. And it's going to be hard. And that's the point. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If you want to become the top 1%, you have to do what the 99% won't do. And that's hard, because you may get ridiculed. You may get made fun of. People will call you the weirdo, or You go out to eat and it's like, oh, come on, it's just this one time. Have the cake, have the drink. I'll give you a personal example. When I quit drinking for 2 years, I would still go out to bars and to friends' parties, and they'd say, oh, come on, it's just this one time, man. It's so-and-so's birthday. Oh, come on, it's this holiday. You got to, man. No, I don't got to. Because you know what would happen if I had a drink every single time somebody said it's just this one time? I'd be drunk every fucking weekend. Because that's what happens. You go out and your so-called friends say, oh, come on, it's just this one time. Even though you've told them, hey, I'm making these lifestyle habits. I'm not drinking, period. I'm not. That's a really good way to filter who your real friends are. Because real friends, real men will support you. Real men won't let you slip back into your old lifestyle habits once you've explained to them that you want to become this new person. Fake friends will absolutely try to drag you back down to their level, because fake friends don't want to hurt their ego, because again, they may view it as an attack on their way of life. You don't drink? Oh, does that mean you think I'm a piece of shit who drinks all the time? It's like, no. Do you think that about yourself? Is that why you're drinking every weekend? What are you celebrating every weekend? So you have to be comfortable with saying no. Saying no is a superpower, because once you say no to all of these things that you used to say yes to, you have so much more time and energy for the things that you actually want to do, that you know you should be doing. And this gets into delaying gratification. So many people today are living what they think are comfortable lives, when in reality, they're not comfortable lives. They're making easy choices that lead to the illusion of comfort. They make just enough money to pay the bills and have some fun on the weekend, right? That's comfortable in their head. It's a comfortable decision to have the cookies, have the cake every single week, to have the drinks, to skip the gym. That's comfortable. But is it really? Because if we think about it, you make those decisions and you're not happy or healthy with your life or who you are as a man. So is that really comfortable? No, of course not. What's actually comfortable is loving who you are as a man and living in integrity with you and your vision and who you want to become. That's comfortable. That's why I'm so much more comfortable now than I ever have been, because I've got nothing to hide. I am who I am. I own it. I know that I'm on the path to greatness. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. So the easy choices would be to drink the alcohol, would be to have the whole bag of chips, would be to skip the workout, would be to masturbate to pornography, would be to spend an hour scrolling social media. Those are easy decisions in the moment. But then what happens immediately after you're done with those? You stop scrolling social media, you're like, oh my God, I just wasted an hour of my time. I'm so unproductive. I can't stay focused. Or you just jerk off to porn. And then what happens immediately after? The feeling of guilt, shame, and regret. Is that how you want to feel? Is that comfortable to you? You go out for the weekend, drink. It's fun in the moment. It is. And then what happens? You wake up the next day and you're like, oh, fuck, my head hurts. Is that how you want to feel? Is that comfortable? Do you want all of this inflammation and extra fat on your body? Is that comfortable for you? Is that worth skipping your workouts? That's not really a comfortable life. It's the farce of a comfortable life. So when you ask somebody how they're doing and they say, oh, good, I'm doing good. I'm pretty good, right? No, they're not. They're lying. They're lying to you. They're lying to themselves. They're not actually good, because they don't know what good actually feels like. Their baseline good is, unfortunately, in today's standards, that is average. The average man today is pale, weak, overweight, stressed out, depressed. That's the average man. But in reality, in all of humanity, that's not average. We're not supposed to feel that way. We're supposed to be thriving. And if you say that you're good when you're making the easy choices and you're not comfortable being uncomfortable, you're not really good. You're surviving. You're surviving your life. You're just getting through it. You're just going through the motions. Another day, another dollar. I'm just doing my job, living for the weekend. Is that good? Is that your definition of good? Are you comfortable with that? Is that what you want? Or do you want to be free? Do you want to actually love yourself and love the situation that you're in? Do you enjoy waking up on Monday? Do you enjoy waking up on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever day? Days are just days. If you don't enjoy that, if you don't truly enjoy the life that you're living, if you're not fully happy, healthy, excited every morning when you wake up, it's time for a change. Perfect time to remind you guys that this episode is brought to you by the Captain's Lifestyle Crew, a private online men's community where we are all like-minded high achievers. We hop on weekly coaching and accountability calls and we talk about this stuff because as men, we oftentimes suppress it. We don't like to let other people know that we actually are struggling. That's why we say, oh, I'm good. I'm doing well. No, you're not. You're just lying. We got to actually talk about these things and work through them. So going back to the delaying gratification, never have I ever regretted not jerking off. Never have I ever regretted not drinking. Never have I ever regretted waking up to go run and watch the sunrise. There's times when I don't want to. Very frequently, actually. And because I've committed to this new lifestyle, to becoming the captain of my own life, and I have defined very clearly what my mission, vision, values, and purpose are in this world, it's much easier for me now to say, okay, I'm going to make the hard decision in the moment, which is to refrain from the immediate desire. And then I'm going to get the gratification after the fact of not doing it. So again, what most people do is they give in to that instant gratification. They want that dopamine instantly. They want it now. And then what happens immediately after, they get the dopamine and then they feel like shit. But if you can reverse that, if you make the hard decision in the moment, you say no to the thing, you refrain from those desires, then after you actually feel good. You're not just hiding or covering up or escaping from your reality in the moment. You actually feel good for having refrained from the desire. So nobody ever regrets a workout that they did. They regret not working out. They think, I should have gone to the gym. Now I feel ashamed or regretful or grief, whatever the feeling is. Make the hard decisions in the moment, which will lead to an actually healthy, happy, and productive life. Another way that you can keep these lifestyle habits and mindset shifts and language upgrades top of mind is to show people how you're living. So as I mentioned earlier, embody the feeling of that person you're wanting to become. Show up to the world as that healthy, happy, excited, productive person. Then once you do that, you're inspiring other people to live that way. And then the more people we can get to live that way, the easier it is for all of us to continue living that way. Because right now, for the weirdos like me, for the one percenters, it can be difficult to get there because 99% of society thinks that we're the crazy ones for trying. They think that we're the crazy ones for trying to become better than we were yesterday. They think that we're the weirdos for watching the sunrise, for grounding, for turning down the alcohol and the crappy foods. Oh, come on, it's just this one time. No, it's not. It's not this one time. It's every time. It's a decision that you have to make and you have to commit to it. That's not to say that you can't have those things, right? What I'm saying is make it a conscious decision. Most people are making these decisions unconsciously. They're just doing it because their friends are doing it and that's what they've always done. Okay, captains make conscious choices. It's like that, 80-20 principle or 90-10, however you want to live, whatever's optimal for you. 80% of the time, you're making the hard choices that lead to the easy life. 20% of the time, you're consciously making the choice to have a treat meal or entertainment calories, right? So if you think of it in that way, then after the fact, you don't feel judgmental or regretful of your decision because you made the conscious choice. Hey, I'm going to have this fun now, and tomorrow I'm right back at it. So that's it for today's episode. I hope this helped you guys understand the process and the journey that it takes to become the captain of your own life. So again, just to recap, to keep these things top of mind and to make the journey more enjoyable, audit your social media, audit who and how much time you spend with other people, audit your environment and upgrade your environment, embody the feelings of the person you want to become, make the hard decisions in the moment, aka delay your gratification. And last but not least, show people how happy, excited, and productive you are. Show people in real life and then show people on your social media. Don't tell people. Nobody wants to be told that their lifestyle sucks. Nobody wants to be told what to do. But if you show them how excited you are to live life, if you show them how free you are, they're going to see that and they're going to be like, what are you doing? I want in on that. So show them through inspiration. And that is what the captain's lifestyle is all about. So that's it for today's episode. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on social media. Will probably be the easiest place, at Captain_Taylor_Morgan. And if you're interested in joining the Captain's Lifestyle crew with other high achieving men, which I highly recommend, then click the link in the description of this podcast. And until next time, don't forget, live the Captain's Lifestyle. Peace.